Using Active Directory involves several steps to set up, configure, and manage the directory service in a Windows-based environment. Here's a general guide on how to use Active Directory. Install Active Directory Domain Services, ADDS. Active Directory is a feature of Windows Server. To use it, you need to install the Active Directory Domain Services role on a Windows Server machine. This is typically done during the initial setup of a new server or by adding the role through the Server Manager. Create a new Active Directory forest, optional. If you are setting up Active Directory for the first time, you'll need to create a new forest. A forest is a collection of one or more domains that share a common schema and configuration. The first domain in the forest is known as the root domain. Create a new domain, optional. If you are setting up a new forest, you can create a new domain within that forest. A domain is a logical grouping of computers, users, and resources in a network. Promote a server to domain controller. Once you have installed the ADDS role, you need to promote the server to a domain controller, DC. During this process, you'll be asked to provide a directory services restore mode, DSRM, password and choose the forest and domain configurations. Configure domain settings. After promoting the server to a domain controller, you can configure various domain settings, such as the domain name, domain functional level, and DNS settings. Create user and computer accounts. With Active Directory in place, you can create user accounts to represent individual users and computer accounts to represent computers that are part of the domain. Organize objects with organizational units, OUs. To simplify management, you can create organizational units, OUs, to organize users, computers, and other objects within the domain. OUs can be used to apply group policies and delegate administrative authority. Implement group policies. Group policies are used to define and enforce settings for users and computers within the domain. You can create and link group policy objects, GPOs, to OUs to apply specific configurations. Configure security and access control. Active Directory provides robust security features. You can define access control lists, ACLs, to control access to resources, set permissions, and define security policies. Manage Active Directory objects. As your network grows, you'll need to manage user accounts, computer accounts, groups, and other objects within Active Directory. This includes tasks like modifying attributes, resetting passwords, and disabling or deleting objects as needed. Monitor and maintain Active Directory. Regularly monitor the health and performance of Active Directory, including domain controllers and replication. Perform regular backups to ensure data integrity and disaster recovery. Using Active Directory effectively requires understanding its components, features, and best practices for managing users, resources, and security settings. It's essential to follow security best practices to protect your network and ensure smooth operations. Additionally, as the network evolves, regular review and updates to Active Directory configurations may be necessary to meet changing business requirements.